But there's some people who can't, no matter how many intelligent questions you ask them, and no matter how much research, Manju, you have done, there will be people you're like, oh my God, why? What does this even mean?
I don't know. For me, I feel very empathetic towards people.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get annoyed. So for me, it's like
Not even for your time. Like, I've spent so much time on you, bro. Like, give me something.
usually you'll find something. I think it's
Very optimistic of you.
yes.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mawa Shajaz. You're watching me on YouTube, you're listening to me on Spotify. I'm always joined by such interesting people on this podcast. So, thank you so much for all the kind comments and the views that you've been giving me so far. My idea of having these conversations is to know more about the people I already know and help you also gain understanding of what are the very, very fascinating individuals and personalities I get to meet as I live in the UAE. One of the people who I've known for quite a while and who's got a very, very interesting profile, and a profile that matches mine in a way, but she's in a wholly different domain. She was the editor of Filmfare Middle East. She's currently running her own company, which she will tell us more about. She's someone who I've always admired and I've had a great rapport with, and we've interacted with each other so many times. But I'm so happy that today we'll be having a long, frank conversation. Manju Ramanan, hi, how are you? Welcome to the podcast.
I'm good and I'm elated to be here.
Thank you so
And-
much, Manju.
And with that connection, you should say that you're January 1st and I'm January 2nd, which is
Oh, yes, that I missed.
I'm not going to reveal the year though, but yes.
Okay, fair enough. So, Manju, thank you so much for giving me your time. I know you're very busy. You're flying out tomorrow and you have a packed schedule and you've started your own company. So, yay, kudos
Thank
for
you,
that.
thank you,
And
thank
tell
you.
us more about your company first.
So the company is called Align Me.
Hmm.
It has two sections to it. One is the media section. Align Media is a media company. Align Meena is the events company. So
Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
both of these are mine. And I am partnered with two very good, very, very enterprising individuals, Vivek Sinha and Ashish Kohli, who are partners who've invested in me.
Hmm.
And I've been fortunate that they have been part of my company. And we've just started. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of dreams. It's about media, PR events, books as well.
Right.
So, yeah, so all that I was doing, but it comes under one canopy of
That's
Align
amazing.
Media.
Yes, yeah. And you've been very industrious and you've been very get up and make it. And I admire you so much for that because it's not easy sometimes, especially with the pandemic and how things changed for the whole world
Yeah.
and kind of trying to make it on your own. Tell me about your journey from the beginning. You're a journalist and you've been covering Bollywood and entertainment and lifestyle in the UAE and beyond for so many years. Again, not revealing the year, but
No, I can tell you the year. I'm very happy to be a 50-year-old.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing and so proud of you. And you don't look a day over 30. So I hope that helps.
Say that again.
You don't look a day over 30. So Manju, what made you step into entertainment journalism first of all?
I didn't choose anything in my life.
Life chose me.
Like always it does. For me, the story, I have said this earlier. So my father passed away in the year 2000. I get a call from the Times of India. I was doing my MPhil. I was deciding to be an academician, not anything to do with journalism.
I didn't know this. You were
Yeah.
planning to be an
Yeah,
academician.
So I did my MPhil, I did my BA, my MA, and my
Wow.
MPhil, and I had this ivory tower thing about literature is so high up there, and journalism kaun karega. And then God chose me and said, okay, this one. Okay. So my father passed away, and the next day I get a call from the other city, which is Ahmedabad, Times of India. I go there, no one is there to interview me. I come back again, angry, upset. They call me again. I go back again. The same thing happens. So I say, I go and tell my mother that this is not for me. And then the third time they say, if we come to your city, will you come to meet us? And that is when I go to meet them, and the journey starts.
Oh.
So it wasn't really about, you don't know what you're discarding. In fact, in the middle, I'd written a very nasty letter to the editor saying that if your father had died or your mother had died and you were to do an interview, would you do it? So apparently that letter became my CV. So I didn't realize it. I was 26 years old. So yeah.
There's a lot to learn from that experience. It's like you need to make your voice heard.
Well, after a while, I think I can stand up for myself. And that I didn't know.
No, but this
then.
letter tells you that you can.
Yeah, I didn't know early on. I just reacted. But then you collate it now and look back and say, okay, this is what it means when you say stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
So
and at that time you didn't know.
No,
that
you
that's
just
what
do
you
it
were doing.
reactively. Like,
Yeah.
you get angry, you write it.
Yeah.
But then successively that has happened in my life. These letters have happened, or messages have happened where I refuse to say, refuse to abide. And it has caused me a lot of sorrow. It's not that it's been easy, because you also used to a certain kind of pattern. But then I didn't realize that there's a disruptor in me. And maybe that helps me. So I didn't realize that there's a disruptor out there, which
lurking in you.
You don't know these things. You go back, when you see a pattern, and then you go back and say, okay, this, okay, maybe this is what, that is why I'm here. So yeah, I guess so. And I think it's very important for women, of course, everybody, to stand up for yourself and give people patience. It's not that you suddenly start reacting, and not understand the other person's point of view and not be empathetic. But there's a point where you say, no, this is it.
After this, I'm not taking it.
It's not,
Manju, you worked in entertainment industry. You've interviewed so many mainstream Bollywood stars. You've hung out with them. You've created events for them, and you've platformed them on your platform and Filmfare, and that's a brand you've been closely associated with.
Yes.
Journalism now, and I had a conversation with Anamika, our good friend Anamika. We've talked about how journalism is very tailored now. It's very controlled, and there are limits to what you can ask celebrities, and there are limits to, their PRs are controlling it, their managers are controlling it. And in that, you also want substance. You want somebody to say something which, gives audience something to think about, and you like some kind of authentic line of questioning. How do we manage that now, and what's your take on that?
I think the answers are as good as the questions. So more deeper work in the questions will get you better answers.
Right.
And I believe in that. Also, sometimes you have to be understanding and empathetic about the interviewee, the people that you're interviewing. They might not be comfortable with certain things, and you can't push them to do things. That
you're not a cop.
You're not a cop, and you don't need. And I think it defines your kind of journalism as well. Are you looking into that? Are you looking into a scoop? Are you looking for clickbaity stuff? Are you looking to really have a conversation?
Yeah.
And the moment they feel comfortable with you, you don't have to ask many questions. The conversation flows in such a way that they want to tell you, they will tell you what they have to tell you. So, and even if it meanders into spaces which are uncomfortable, they will tell you.
And they will navigate.
They will navigate you. So the whole thing is about trust. And I've worked on that space. And I'm not a very prying person when it comes to too much of, personal life.
What were you dating these days? That's not the kind of question you would ask.
It's. I think there's enough and more available online. They don't need...
There are enough gossip mongers out there, guys.
Yes. And you don't need somebody with a little expertise to ask those questions, because there's some grace in... I think for me, it's distasteful sometimes. Also, I'm not schooled into journalism, right? It came to me as something that I like to do. So somewhere I don't know about the number of intros written. School teaches you certain things.
Yeah.
I do not come from that space. I come from the space of loving the language. So then it comes from a bigger space of accommodating literature, music, everything.
And understanding characters. Do you look at people as characters? Do you do that sometimes? Now that you've told me that you were a MPhil in literature almost.
No, not at all. I don't look at people like characters. Just because I think it happens with all of us. I'm sure it happens with you. We become very attuned to body language.
Yeah.
And who we are speaking to. So somewhere who's lying, who's not, who's trying to be uncomfortable, and you navigate your conversation accordingly.
Yeah.
A lot is emotional intelligence.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
And I think when journalists don't display that, I'm surprised. Like, what are you doing in this profession?
Can you get it? Some words are not, he or she is not, he's not speaking in this way. What is the way you can make him feel comfortable and still have that conversation? I think the most important part of being a journalist is respect to the person that you're you're interviewing. Because don't come unprepared.
Yeah.
Don't come prepared with questions like "Aapko kaisa lag raha hai ye film mein kaam karke?" Yeah, silly things like don't ask stupid
What's
questions.
your routine like?
Yeah.
How did you prepare for this?
For this role? What were the challenges?
That's like
Sometimes we also cringe when you look at stuff, right? You look at them and say, okay, now you've got this opportunity. Ye pucha jaake. You're like,
how could you waste this point?
And this is the time that you get with a celebrity, and suddenly you ask them, अच्छा आप खाना बनाते वक्त क्या हम करते हो, क्या क्या गाना?
Really? People ask that? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I have a list, a big list.
Manju, it's so important that you said that, because now the access to celebrities, while controlled, is become so much more now with the bloggers and
No, the problem I have, it's not a problem, but there's something that I feel. There are more film promotional interviews happening than
Yeah.
actual interviews.
yeah. Okay.
The star comes to Dubai for a film promotion, everybody runs and asks for a bite.
Yeah.
It's just a 2-minute, 5-minute thing. They put it on their social media.
And it's
done.
all going to be the same.
Around the same thing.
Around the same.
But are you getting time? Are you
Yeah.
getting an interview? If you're not getting an interview, I think it's just a film promotion and you're enabling it.
You've become a tool to that vehicle.
You're just enabling a film promotion, which is okay if it's that kind of a journalist that you are.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting time with the star to even ask some questions about himself or herself, and the star is also schooled to say that, okay, I'll only talk about my film. Right? But there is more to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's very boring.
Yeah.
And how can you ask a star about a film that you've not seen? Based on a trailer.
Based on a trailer. हाँ,
Trailer
बस,
and trailer reviews and things that everybody knows कि उतना ही information.
हाँ, इससे ज़्यादा कुछ भी नहीं बोलेगा. हाँ.
बोलेगा और तुम उसके साथ कोलेट भी नहीं करोगे. And because you don't read, आप जब स्टार को मिलने जा रहे होते हो तो आपके फोन पे रास्ते में when you're in the
You're
car,
Wikipediaing
you are
it.
doing your research.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
This is what most people do.
Yeah.
और फिर वहां जाके तुम क्या इतना तोड़ वाला क्वेश्चन पूछोगे कि वो उसको because they also want to be asked good questions.
Yeah.
They also want to have a point where they think, oh sorry, I have to
Think about this question.
think about this question. Because if you've not thought about it, they already know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot of, I mean, this is for the bloggers, the journalists, the newbies out there. Whatever you do, there has to be work.
Yeah. Just
There
put
is-
in the effort.
Put in the effort. Put in
Yeah.
the work.
Show you deserve it.
Respect the person who you're going to interview.
ठीक है. Yeah.
Don't take him for a don't.
And
take
also, like, my pet peeve with this Manju is also the dumb questions. Like, even people who I've seen are.
What is your list of dumb questions?
Oh, my
Please
list
tell
of
me. I
dumb
need to-
question is, I think that it's not as straightforward as आज आपने खाने में क्या खाया, how did you prepare for this role. My series of dumb question also includes stuff like asking the obvious, and like if there's a person who's really, it's shown like, oh, she's probably, the character is working in some village or some remote area. Was it difficult to shoot in that area? Yes. Would you expect her to say, no, it was a walk in the park, I was like on a resort? No, she's shooting in 40 degree he's shooting in 50 degree heat. Obviously, it's going to come with its share of difficulties.
Yeah.
Why don't you dig deeper? Why don't you ask more?
Yeah.
And I think,
it's see the difference between the idea and the story, right? That's an idea.
yeah.
You have to lead it to the story.
Yeah.
It can be a fabulous question if you push it further and make it something more relevant.
Yes, and then so like the idea is, the premise is established that this is a difficult role. So it's a difficult role. Why are you asking that question? Like you said, dig deeper. Go more into that question that, okay, what makes it so difficult? Was the particular role difficult because you were stripped of all the glamour? That's
Absolutely.
probably a deeper question. Ask that.
It all comes to a point where you say you're celebrating mediocrity. And it is so annoying. It is so annoying that it's like, and mediocrity is celebrated as excellence.
Yes.
There have been times
mistaken for it.
and people have asked me, इतना काम क्यों कर रही हो? अरे इतना करने की जरूरत नहीं है.
You just do these regular
बस
5
ये कर लो,
questions.
ये बस enough है.
Ah.
Who's anyone to say that to me?
Yeah.
Because
people have
unless
said that
it's-
to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you working so hard? Why? It's not about hard work. It's the way I am.
It's the way you're
I
built.
will. I cannot settle for something like that. Yeah. Not that I've always, I'm always successful in what I do. I have also done stupid things.
No, but you've worked hard
But
consistently.
I know that even those moments, I've worked hard. Even today, I'm sure it happens with you.
Yeah.
I'm never smug about an interview. If I'm going to interview somebody, I'm still like, I hope everything goes well. It'll never be like, अरे ये तो मेरे बाएं हाथ का खेल है.
No, I remember I was interviewing a very big Bollywood celebrity, and I was prepared in my head, but we had to wait for that celebrity for like 2 hours. And then
I know.
Yeah. I think you were there also. And by the time he came to us, and by the time I was like, oh, do I ask this man? What was I thinking? And then I was like, oh yeah. And then he went off on some rant of his own. It wasn't a rant, but he was on a train of thought of his own, because obviously he's now interviewed like 7-8 people, and by the time he's come to us, he's in another zone now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I'm just listening and I'm listening. I'm trying to make sense of what he's saying and I'm trying to make sense of what I want to ask. But I don't think that everybody goes through this struggle. They have those ratte wale 4 questions. And Manju, one thing which I want to ask you, which you mentioned very interestingly about film promotions being the placeholder for all interviews. When Rolling Stone does an interview, and Taylor Swift talked about it, that when Rolling Stone generally does an interview, they hang out with the star, they spend two hours with them.
That's the ideal situation.
That's the ideal way. So one of those long form. And one of the best interviews I've ever read is of Martin Scorsese in GQ. Recently, it just got published. And I think it is actually literature. If you read it, it's wonderful.
But for literature, you have to spend time.
You have to spend time. You have to get to know a person at least a little bit.
Person's nails, his wrinkles.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you have
how
that
they react to
much
food.
time.
Yeah, stuff like
and
that.
look at what, how they twitch their ear and if their hair is, whatever. Their quirks. It's like absorbing the personality of the person to make sure that it comes out that way.
Yeah.
Do you have that time? It's almost like, bheed mein, chalo bhago. So by the time you're seated, the person is waiting and there's T piche.
The assembly line of interviews is going on.
Which happens. And then nothing is wrong about it because they have that much time and they have to do everything. But is content really coming out of there? This is just film promotion. It's not content that you and I call content.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
So long
Manju,
form, yeah.
When have you had the experience recently, or do you feel like most of it is just these short form?
No, I would avoid it now after a certain while.
The short form ones?
The short form, I would avoid it. I don't want to go and meet and wait for the star for 3 hours, 4 hours. And
for
then,
5 minutes.
And then get a 5-minute. No, I think I've done, it's enough now. Because it doesn't serve them or me any purpose to be there. And just to be asking an intelligent question in a press conference, I don't want to be invited there. Even if I'm invited there, I would be like, okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, it's okay. I don't mind. I'm not saying it is wrong. It's just that right now,
that's not your
purpose. For the hours that you spend for that 5-minute bite is not something I find valuable to me or to them.
That makes sense.
With due respect to everybody who does press conferences, I also do it. I've also done press conferences on the other side doing PR publicity. But what I'm saying is, if the content is not relevant to me, I'd rather choose to wait and look at content
else,
which is relevant to me.
Yeah.
Simple. We all make our choices. I've had the chance.
And you reserve the right.
And people have said, "Arey, ye aaye, aap nahi aaye ho. Isko bulao. Ye aaye, aap kyun nahi ho?" मैंने कहा वहाँ आके मैं क्या करूँगी? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो इन्विटेशंस नहीं मिलते बिकॉज आप अभी एक बड़े ब्रांड के साथ नहीं हो एक्सेप्टेबल उसमें कोई ईगो का प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है इट्स अ फैक्ट इट्स ओके अब मेरे पे मुझे देख के इफ पीपल थिंक आई एम रेलेवेंट इनफ आई विल बी इनवाइटेड एंड देन आई हैव टू बी आल्सो रिस्पेक्टेड फॉर दैट इनवाइट दैट आई हैव बीन गेटिंग राइट सो आई विल कम टू एन इवेंट वेयर आई फील दैट yes, it's worth my time and it's worth for my content. Otherwise, I'm not going to call people and say, मेरे को क्यों नहीं बुलाया?
मेरे को क्यों नहीं बुलाया? अच्छा मंजू ये बताओ, when we say that, like I mentioned earlier, that today journalists have to amp up a lot more of their skills. Like for example, now we have to do videos and it's not just about the writing a nice long form content, which is important, 100%. And I'm never going to again devalue. Like
no,
that is your core actually. If you want
you
to
have to write it anyway.
Yeah, if you want to call yourself a journalist, but like, do you find it frustrating sometimes? Because I do, and I'm like, I'm a writer and I'm a thinker and I'm writing these things and I'm thinking about the questions, like you said, putting in the work and thinking about, okay, if I'm going to, let's say, maybe interview Shahid Kapoor for Heather, and let's say if I'm in that room where I'm supposed to interview Shahid Kapoor for Heather, these would be my questions, not this that, oh, what was it like to shave your head? You know, those kind of stupid questions. So my question to you about the frustration I feel as a journalist now is that, and I wonder if you share my frustration, is that now you have these random people who, like we said, we've talked about it, that they've just come and they've gotten in that space as well. The bloggers, the journalists and all of that, the people who call themselves journalists. And then now the big question is followers. Do you have enough followers?
Yeah, that's your currency today.
That's your currency today. How do you reconcile with that? Because to me, I'm always, yes, I've got followers, yes, I have decent followers, but let's say
but you have good number of followers.
I do, but this is not who I am. I'm not somebody who dances on TikTok and then says, oh, this, look at me. And again, like I said, no disrespect to the people who are doing that. I appreciate that as an art form.
I can't do it.
I can't do it either. But Manju, मेरा frustration ये होता है कि जब हम किसी again like कोई publication हो गया, कोई film promotion हो गया. नहीं, that guy has 2 million followers, so obviously they will get more time
But
than
that
you will.
is that I remember talking to A.R. Rahman about this some years ago, and he said many of the people who he has trained are on YouTube because they're
Okay.
all his. Because they have not sponsored, they're not pushed themselves to a certain extent where they buy followers. There are very few viewers. This is a problem across the world. Some of the best people, some of the best. So it's exactly whether you want to join the bandwagon and become like talk about the numbers, or you say that the other side of the world is pretty scary for people like us because actual content, actual talent might not have following.
Exactly.
And it's okay. Instagram will not decide for you or for me the years of experience that you've put in.
Yes, it's not deciding that at all. At all. Yeah.
Neither does any social media.
No.
Google search might tell you people about what you are and whatever. So the point is, we have to take that risk. We cannot be smug about it also, saying that हम तो social media में कुछ नहीं करेंगे. That is another end.
Yeah.
We said we don't care. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता.
Yeah.
But then don't go overboard and then get...
Just become that.
No. Have 20 million followers and 2 लोगों ने तुम्हारे पोस्ट को लाइक किया है और 4 लोगों ने कमेंट किया है, सेम कमेंट किया है. So people are not fools कि पता है कि ये this is all fake. So where do we draw the line? I think we have to take that call. A lot of journalists, a lot of people I know would have bought followers. It's a very normal thing to buy
it
following.
happens.
No problems with that. It is up to them. But people who cannot afford it or don't want to be there have to work harder to make sure that the content has to be pushed. But still, it's
and tailored in a way for social media.
फिर भी हम हर एक को नहीं होता ना. Everyone is not as good as you in social media. Look at you. No, because है ना, आपकी expertise है. So maybe you should start consulting people.
Yeah, I've
and
done
earn
that.
money out of it.
Yeah. Acha, Manju, when you living in the UAE, let's talk about that. Like living in the UAE is such a fascinating experience because you're from India, I'm from Pakistan. What were the chances of us ever meeting if you weren't in the UAE? So,
Absolutely.
God bless the UAE because it is actually, I was mentioning it to another friend that it is the kind of place which would have been if India and Pakistan had relatively softer borders, which I think was initially how it was imagined to be, right?
But I'm very happy to see Fawad and...
yes, they're back on... we'll talk about that.
Yeah, fine.
But before, I want to talk about the UAE is that when you interact with people here from all nationalities, not just Pakistan, but all nationalities, how does that add to your worldview when you look at people from Pakistan and you interact with so many celebrities from Pakistan and you interview them?
I think I find a lot of Pakistanis, stars included, extremely devoted to Bollywood. Like their kind of love is very, very intense, like intense love. And I find that very endearing.
Really?
Yeah, because they would... For them, the deification is bigger, I feel. I think a lot of India, because India has different film industries.
Film industries also,
So the South is different.
The South is huge.
There are 4 states in the South.
Yeah.
5 more states, but then industries are 4. So all of that adds up to different people having different choices.
Right.
But Pakistan is so devoted to Bollywood.
Singularly to Hindi film industry.
To the Hindi film industry. And especially
although I love Dulquer Salman, I want to point that out.
Yes. But largely. And the kind of love that they have is like from the songs to the lyrics, to the food, to the dances, to the costume, to the kada someone's worn. Like it's... The love I find is very endearing. And that adds, because there's so much love, the knowledge comes naturally.
Yeah, of course.
The knowledge of Bollywood comes so naturally because you're so much in love with this industry. And I find that very endearing.
Yeah.
And I find that very, it's loving. There's a lot of love there. There's a lot of love there. I remember talking to Sunil Shetty once. He was, there was an interview I was doing and he said, Manju, when sometimes he takes a taxi from the airport. And he says, most of the taxi walas are Pakistanis.
Yes,
right?
they are.
And he says, they all love me.
Yeah, we do.
And why they love him? For his role in Border.
Border?
Acha, Border. Border mein to main aapki country ke, I mean, I'm fighting your country. So they said, nahi, wo jazba na, wo hame acha laga. It wasn't the story.
It wasn't the
story.
It
was the emotion that you felt for your country, that we feel for ours, is what we admire.
Connected with.
So he said, look at that.
Yeah.
And that can happen only in a place like the UAE.
Yeah, that's so true. And also, I love Sunil Shetty for his role in Hera Pheri. Hera Pheri is like love.
I just shared something on Hera Pheri. It's a remake of a Malayalam film.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
it
it
is.
is,
Most
it
of
is.
Priyadarshan's
Yes,
movies
films
were
are
remakes
remakes,
of
yeah.
Malayalam or South films.
Yes.
But that's so true, Manju, because we've grown up on Bollywood.
Yes.
And our love, like I've also threatened my husband, I can run away with Shah Rukh Khan anytime. So just disclaimer. But the love for Shah Rukh and the love for, but I feel like now the way the Bollywood is shifting, there was that era of Shah Rukh, the 2000s with the Pardes and the Kuch Kuch Hota and late 90s.
Yeah.
From that to now, I feel like, personally, I feel like I don't see that Bollywood anymore, which I loved. Maybe I'm growing older. Maybe I'm growing.
Also, we have had a big influx of social media, right? In the
Yeah,
middle.
true. And OTT.
Yeah. So there has been a lot of other content also, which is probably
Diluted that.
diluted, has probably, you paying more attention to.
Oh, okay, that way.
So your platter is bigger.
It's bigger.
So you're not completely awed by one industry. There is a lot more content across
Maybe.
the world, which
Across
you're
the
also
world,
looking
maybe.
at. So maybe that's why. Also, films have changed.
Films have changed for sure.
And the access to stars have also changed.
Yes.
With social media, a star can talk to you, which wasn't in the past.
Yeah.
There was a factor of awe factor.
Awe
There was
factor
this,
was
you had to
more.
wait. And this whole thing about, I think Javed Saab said something so beautiful. And this is about the yearning. The yearning period for
Yeah.
any lover, any pair of lovers, is the most beautiful period because there is always this chance factor.
Yeah.
So he said something beautiful. He said Romeo and Juliet, if it was Romeo meeting Juliet, he would probably text her saying, come out and let's meet.
Yeah.
There was no chance factor that she might not come.
Yeah.
So today, because there is no chance factor, there's no waiting period, there's no patience.
For anything.
So when you get that instant response, you've killed that emotion in the middle. Which is like, so
that instant gratification has
taken over. So
taken
now I'll be
over,
like,
yeah.
okay, he doesn't answer me, so maybe he does. I don't like him.
Yeah, I don't like
And this
it, yeah.
entire thing about cancel
culture, yeah.
So I think all that adds up.
So you don't really get to build the star.
No, because I think a lot of public PR is also the fortress which surrounds the star and tells him or her to say what they have to say. But there are some stars I have had the chance to meet, I'm sure you've also met them, who will talk to you. And you know what is to be said and what, I think
They're
some of our
bright
best
people.
stories are the
Yeah.
ones we don't write or talk about.
True. Yeah.
Because there is a lot of secrecy and confidence in which.
Yeah, but I also feel
people
like
talk.
not all stars are very bright when it comes to interviews. They can be great on TV or
How many times have you made the star? Tell me honestly. How many times have you made the star look intelligent through your copy?
Oh, almost all the time. That's what I'm saying. Very few people are actually, and I'm not ashamed of naming names. I think Ranveer Singh is incredibly bright. Like conversations with him are
Yes.
actually enlightening, the way that he chooses his words, and he's saying the same thing. What he's
No, but he can adapt to the person's intelligence.
that's
and
also there. Yeah.
his frequency or her
And he can
frequency.
match you. If
Yeah.
you're asking him a certain kind of questions, he
Yeah,
can match
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And Ranveer is one of those people who are truly one of the most enjoyable conversations I've had.
Because he truly enjoys where he is. No?
Yeah.
So you can see that energy of happiness.
Yeah. So I think there are some stars who match your level, who come to your, point, and then they're like, okay, yes, we can. Meet at your frequency. But there's some people who can't. No matter how many intelligent questions you ask them, and no matter how much research, Manju, you have done, there will be people you're like, oh my God, why? What does this even mean?
I don't know. For me, I feel very empathetic towards people.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get annoyed. So for me, it's like
Not even for your time. Like, I've spent so much time on you, bro. Like, give me something.
usually you'll find something. I think it's
Very optimistic of you.
Yes. So I have never had, I'm not saying I've never had that issue, but sometimes you'll have to explain and simplify and make it as simple. And then sometimes it's also the fact that some people are trying to open up to you. So they also are trying to gauge you. They're afraid, probably they've been scarred before.
And they need time.
And sometimes they're scarred. Sometimes people don't speak your language.
Yeah.
They'll say कि आप हिंदी में बात करोगे. So I speak in
Yeah,
Hindi.
I've also done that. Urdu
Because
mein baat
people
kar
might not be comfortable.
Yeah, in English. Yeah, and that's fair.
And it happens in the South because I also speak Tamil and Malayalam I follow. So when it is the South, sometimes they like to speak in their mother tongue. So you'll have to sometimes, and my mother tongue, I mean, I speak Tamil, but I was raised in Gujarat. So my language is also a little mixed. So there is a lot that has to be managed. So I guess sometimes it's language, sometimes it is, they feel that they quite overawed. No? If it's their first interview and all, they feel like, they're like scared.
कुछ गलत ना बोल दें.
वो भी डरते ना. If you're empathy, then it helps them as well as you to say that, okay, listen, you're just having a conversation. Forget there's a mic. I'm sure you've done it thousands of times to people. So it's actually up to you.
Understanding the space.
That's it. Sometimes it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा तो उसको I think just be kind.
Just be kind.
I don't get angry because it's okay. Unless somebody's really nasty, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But वो नहीं हुआ है कभी.
Yeah. So, do you feel that you're treated differently if you're a woman, as you're a woman, and in an industry which, yes, I mean, I don't know about India, but in Pakistan, journalism is heavily dominated by men. Serious journalism, I mean, I'm serious for the lack of a better word, but entertainment journalism, yes, has a lot of women. But I found that a lot of spaces aren't kind to working mothers, because I feel like they're not valuing the time that we are giving. And I know that's not their job to do that, but I feel like I wish that some of these divas and stars would just be on time, it would save so much hassle and headache for all of us.
I agree. The fact is, we've also pampered them enough.
Yeah.
Let's accept the fact that if someone comes 8 hours late, you wait for them, right?
I wouldn't.
No, people have waited.
People have waited, yeah.
And then you get a 5-minute with them and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
So once you agree to it, then it's okay for them to be late. So if you don't agree to it, is when you will make that change.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's very normal.
But Manju, हम नहीं करेंगे, but कोई और कर लेगा ना interview, तो then they'll set the tone.
तो फिर उन्होंने wait किया है ना, तो उनको अपनी wait करने का फल मिल रहा है. आपको आपके ना करने का फल मिल रहा है.
Which we mentioned in the beginning, that having a strong will or standing up for yourself also costs you.
Oh yes,
the self-respect that you are having comes at a great cost.
Self-respect and money don't go together.
Money don't go together. This is going to be the catchphrase of my podcast. But Manju, what are the pros and cons then? What is that you gain, and what would you say to the people who, like me, have lost a lot because they refuse to back off?
So it's okay. I think it's personalities. It's okay. Sometimes, would you like that you will play second fiddle? Would you like that? Ask yourself this question. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Would I be okay if I swallowed my ego and let this go?
And face the disrespect.
And face the disrespect and earn my money.
Okay.
Would you be okay? Are you that person? If you're not that person, then even if you do it once, you'll do it twice. You might do it 3 times, but the 4th time, you can't do it.
You can't do it, yeah.
So when you can't do it, don't do it. I mean, कितना वो बोलते हैं ना, डिप्लोमेटिक बनो, गे मत करो. जर्नलिज्म का मतलब क्या है? मैं शुरुआत इसीलिए की थी. I started my career with a letter to the editor who was feared in the planet. And I said, listen, if you don't respect me, I don't want to work with you. तो मैंने अपना करियर ही वैसे शुरू किया था. तो वो फायर तो मेरा जर्म है ना, वो मैं हमेशा ऐसे ही हूँ.
तो आप जब when you lose out on things, do you feel resentful or do you like, no, okay, ठीक है, कर लिया तो कर लिया.
So when you take a decision, there is elimination. You're going to feel bad. It's like walking out of a relationship or walking out of a
bad job,
or something that you're not sure, you're not safe. When you don't feel safe there, emotionally, mentally, it's not just all financially all the time. Sometimes for all of us, it's also the fact that you have to be emotionally safe.
Yes.
Because when you're emotionally safe, then you come back home with that safety in your head, even if you're paid little. But if you're emotionally unsafe and you're paid like big amounts of money, you'll come back and say, okay, but what am I bartering? Because I'm probably ending up as a mental, with mental illnesses, not necessarily in the big way, but the problem of depression or probably stuff
anxiety,
like that, and asking myself questions and feeling like drained, my energy is all gone. Is it worth it? So when you evaluate that, I think your answers are there. And I know it's a tough thing to ask
and to live with sometimes, because you have given up so much sometimes.
Yes, and it's okay. Sometimes it's okay.
Does it get better with age?
The throne doesn't define you. You define the throne.
That's interesting because sometimes when the rat race is crazy, because when I
Then you're a rat. You're a rat, no?
yeah, you're
I
still
don't
a
want
rat.
to be a rat.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, you'll be
Kar
the
lo,
nice
bhag lo.
rabbit living by the pond.
Yes, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's
yeah.
fine. There's a time where you, and I think after, when you're closer to your 50s, I think with me it has happened. It's like you've ticked the boxes, you've done stuff, you've given enough room, and now it's room for yourself. And why not? And people might call you a fool. People have called me that. It's foolish to do this. This is not something you should have done. I mean, of decisions I've taken in the past, and I'll be like, it's okay. Maybe I'm a fool. It's okay. I'll start again. And that's the whole deal. Like, there is always a choice. And if you make that choice, difficult choice of choosing a certain path, you're responsible for taking that choice. And then don't cry about what you lost. It's like having the cake and you can't have both.
I was asking. Then
Dono
you
nahi
don't
ho
cry
sakta. Then
about
you have
the
to-
elimination.
No. You can be bitter about it for a bit because you like lost it, and it's okay. You have to go through that tunnel of anger, but when you emerge out of it, you also feel that okay, I know what I want to get into and what I don't want to get into. More importantly, for me, it's always been the sense of self-worth. And when the self-worth is challenged is when I get up and say, sorry, maybe you don't get me. It's fine. And try to get the thorn out, the thorn of anger out, because that'll trouble you all your life, and look at it as a mere incident that happened, which has taught you something more. So I guess, I think to each his own. We all have, nothing is perfect. We all try, and we are all trials and errors in a
all
way.
of us, yeah. And that's one thing that age also teaches you.
Yes,
That
and it's okay. It's okay because when you look back at your body of work, you feel like, okay, इतना बुरा नहीं था जितना मैंने सोचा था. है ना?
I did all right.
Yeah.
I did all right. Acha, Manju, just last few questions is that now that you're coming to a certain age and you've started, like you said, starting a new...
At 50.
At 50.
I started my own company at the age of
Yeah,
50.
I mean, again, you don't look at it over 30, so that's fine.
Yes.
So, Manju, what kind of courage does that take? Because that's a huge leap you've taken.
It is a huge leap. So I've been a full-timer for about 22 years with one break in the middle because my owners ran away with the money, not because I quit. Then I quit consciously, and I was a freelancer for 2 years. And then came along these two gentlemen, wonderful people, who said, okay, we'll back you. We'll do this for you. So this is the third phase. Now there's no fourth, right? There's only these three. So this is the third leap of faith that I've taken. And I believe that I'm building my wings while I land.
Oh, scary. But kudos to you for doing that, because not everybody has that courage. And a lot of us are comfortable in the little spaces we have. And again, that's also fine. But then
But it also is personality based, right? So
Yeah.
even when I was in a company, when I was an employee, I would take it as if it was my own. I wouldn't just do my job and leave.
do you think that's a mistake though?
It's a personality. That's me. So wherever you put me, this is what you will get.
You'll end up being that person. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether the salary is little or large. If that's the energy that I come with, then that is the energy I'll expend. And so maybe I was always meant for what I'm doing, but I didn't know. I went on those paths, and probably I would hope that this is my destination.
Yeah.
But you never know.
No. I'm sure that it'll be amazing wherever you go and whatever you do. Manju, when we now look at the future of now is AI, and there's, like I said, multiple forms of journalism. Journalism basically makes our stomach churn, and them churning out content is basically journalism. That's defining it loosely. Now that you see the future and the content that you now see, because you also talk about what you've liked and what you've not liked, and as a journalist we do that too. What are the trends that you're spotting in the near future, and what would you say to the people who are again to the people who are not taking it seriously, and to the people who are taking it seriously and want to do good work?
Writers are, according to a lot of people, writers are dispensable now because AI is there, right? ये तो हम भी लिख देंगे.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but okay.
No, this is a general. I'm talking about the
A
general
thought.
opinion.
Yeah, a school of thought.
Right? But when you read a copy, you will know it's not generated
Yeah.
by a human being.
100%.
Right? And they give it to you to humanize it. Right?
The irony.
Right?
The irony.
Yeah. So when it is given to you to humanize it, कि इसको थोड़ा अपना ऐसे touch दो.
ओरिजिनल बना दो इसको.
उसको
हाँ.
तो फिर ठीक है उसको हमारे को see it's not difficult for us when it's a copy in front of you you'll have to make किसी के हाथ पैर बनाने हैं किसी के कान खींचने हैं किसी को एक earring पहनानी है it's not a big deal for any writer so I think that's the whole deal when you look at a copy and you'll say okay this is so mechanical there's no soul in it it's like just words now words and I still believe that there is scope for us because where will you get the experience where will the experience come into the copy if it is AI generated where
But the
am
AI
I where are
experts
you
claim.
going to talk about Shah Rukh suppose you interview Shah Rukh Khan and he's spoken about something about his family he's got a call in the middle and he's spoken to you if you've not if this is not posted online
Yeah.
where will AI pick it from
Yeah, that's the point. The actual human experience is missing.
so that I think is the most important part of any interview it can't be just those questions that are available online that is why it's very important for us writers to work on our questions even more strongly if you want to combat
Make life harder for us.
yes yes
But Manju, what about the people who are now creating content for not just in terms of
everyone is a content creator
everyone
today.
is a content creator, but not just in terms of journalism, but movies and films and dramas. Do you feel that also is losing its soul?
No, I don't think so. I think content has exploded across OTT.
Has it found its footing though?
Well, I think when it started out, it was like trial. People weren't sure.
I think it still is.
All kinds of.
Yeah.
But at least now, again, there's a star system again coming into OTT, which is a very funny thing. Which was the reason it was popular was because it did not have a star system and there were a lot of actors that you could
Yeah.
see. But now again, that's going to set in. Big houses are investing in, you know.
Yeah.
But what I feel is, end of the day, a good story is a good story. That is going to synergize across the world. And that's why writing and writers are much more in demand, will always be in demand. And those experiences will have to be there. And if you see, a lot of it is crime. A lot of what you see on OTT is stalkers, or a lot of crime is preferred. Like for some odd reason, all are we like, because there's this one point where you want to be kicked, like in your head, like not exactly kicked, but you have to have that kick. And that comes with only a very strong incident, which is probably a murder or a stalker, or you know. So that particular click that you have is what you have to identify as a writer in other genres as well. It need not be always about this body being found and mutilated and
the horrible things that happen.
the blood and the gore and stuff like
yeah.
that. So is there an alternative? We don't know. I still don't know. But I'm trying to, when I look at content, I look at that. And I'm sure something like Chamkila did so well.
Yeah.
And there are so many other series which did well because it had a certain appeal which was...
Lapata Ladies. I always give the example of...
What a beautiful film.
What a beautiful film. Yeah. It had everything in it that you want.
And it wasn't talking about... And it wasn't like gung-ho about it.
No.
It was subtle, it was nice, quiet, and it made its point.
Yeah, it made its point. Even though at some point it got preachy, but that was like very little and the rest of it was pretty much remarkable.
Yes.
So just wrapping off, Manju, what would you say to the people who are watching you, young women who want to start off, and women like me who are watching at home probably, and women who haven't done... They have had potential, but they haven't had the opportunity to grow as much as they could have. They maybe feel regret at a certain point in their life.
Today, I think it's the other way around. I also feel that because of social media, a lot of content creators are sprouted from cooking, even dancing. I've seen such videos.
My God. There was a Toba dance done by this lady in a village and I was mesmerized. I'm like, she's doing a better job than Vicky Kaushal, you know?
Probably they have better numbers.
Probably, yeah.
I remember a few years ago, one of my drivers who used to drive me home, he was a TikToker.
Nice.
And he had more, I wasn't even on TikTok, and he had more following than me.
Wow.
And he would say, अगर मैं तुम्हारी जगह होता, madam, मैं तो क्या करता.
How cute.
So it breaks the barrier of anybody. So though it has been nice. For journalists, it's not been a great time at all. For the last, I think the last 10 years haven't been great for journalists. I'm talking about traditional journalists. They have to adapt. A big shout out to all the print journalists who have faced the camera. I think they have not gotten enough credit for this. It's so important because they've never been used to the camera.
And they never thought they would have to do this.
And suddenly they'll have to face the camera and look cool and look good. And people are commenting on the teeth and their eyes and their makeup. Come on, give them a break. They are not used to it and they're still doing their best. So yes, I would think that be kind.
Be kind. That's, I think, the sum all and be all of what our experience is as human beings.
Yes.
And that's a wonderful
Or
message.
be kinder.
Be kinder. That's even better. Thank you so much, Manju, for your time. I just want to tell everyone that it's so important, like Manju said, to have empathy. And sometimes we get so caught up in the rat race that we forget that the person on the other side is human.
Yeah, and we're not rats.
And we're not rats. And I think it goes both ways. Sometimes even we have to remind ourselves that we're not rats. And we need to be empathetic. And sometimes the other people who are watching us also need to remember that, we're still in a weird space in the world in mankind's history right now.
Right.
But we're still not rats. We're still mankind. We're still human beings. So with that, I'm going to sign off, guys. Please thank Manju Ramanan in the comments. Manju, we wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
And wherever you go, keep spreading the light and the love and the joy that you always bring to interviews, that we always bring to my conversations with you.
It's been a pleasure always to talk to you, Mavish. You know, we have common grievances.
Common problems and ideas and journeys also in many ways, especially post the pandemic. Life was thrown for a loop for everyone.
Yes.
So thank you once again, Manju, and wish you best of luck. Guys, don't forget to follow Manju. I will share her socials in the description below or in the description in the podcast. Don't forget to catch whatever she's doing. She's a great inspiration to all the women who, it doesn't matter where you are in your life, you can always take a new leap, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Take care of yourself, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Apna bahut khayal rakhiye. Take care of yourself. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you.
Don't miss an update. Hit the bell icon and click on subscribe.